Hi, welcome to Module 4 of the ACD course, helping you to live with angelic compulsive disorder. This one's going to be difficult for a lot of you. We're going to be looking at the energy of goodbye. I know for some of you watching, that word sends a chill down your spine. You feel it like a kick in the gut. It means losing something you love. It means being rejected. It means having to let go of something you value. It's a tough one. So I want to put a different approach to it because earth angels are prone to saying hello to so many things, to saying yes to so many things, to giving and giving and giving, and then becoming overloaded because they have failed to set aside some time to let go. Let go of what no longer serves, what's no longer appropriate, or just clearing the clutter. So where do you start? How do you know you need to say goodbye to something, be it a person, an object, or a situation? Well, the first thing is a sense of realization. How many of you in past relationships hit the point where you thought, this just doesn't work anymore? Something feels wrong. I can't put my finger on it, but things just aren't the same. Maybe you've been in a job and you've just hit the deadline. You had the straw that broke the camel's back and you realised there was no turning back. You were gone. You were out of there. I know myself, I had an experience when I was working as a carer for a guy who had a spinal injury, and there were 3 of us that lived in the home. And I remember talking to one of the other carers and I started talking about this job in the past tense. And she caught me. She said, what do you mean you used to, or you did? You're here now. I was like, whoa, that was almost subconscious. I'd already stepped out. My soul, I was already down the road, on to the next thing, looking back, remembering this as something I used to do. And I've still sat right in the middle of it. That sense of a split was such a big lesson for me, and it's come many times since, and as a soul voice, I always listen to it. So we're going to explore realization, what it feels like. We're going to make a note of times when it's happened for us, when you've had a clear sense of knowing. Now, you may not have acted on it. Let's not judge. I'm sure there are so many times in your past you had the feeling, you knew it was over, but you didn't let go. But let's start with acknowledging as many ways that you can to write down the times when you've had the feeling of realization, when you knew deep in your heart something had to change. Next step, decisions. Oh God, I hate making decisions. There's nothing harder, is there? I know I don't want this, but what do I want? And if I don't know what I do want, then I can't change what I've got, because I don't know what's next, and suddenly you're in a tangle and you don't know what you're doing, and it's really, really confusing. I haven't got any instant answers for you. I'm not going to wave a magic wand and go, hey, this is how you make decisions. All I can say is this: honour that realisation, know that something has to change, and try to focus on what one step forward would look like. One step forward to take you from where you are now that feels bad to feeling just a little bit better. Maybe it's having a conversation. Maybe it's clearing out some junk. Maybe it's looking for a new job while you're in the one you're in. Making a very small step forward. And then, guess what? Another step forward. And then, another step forward. So decisions aren't great, big, life-changing moments where everything changes. They are simply steps. Every step you take, make another decision to go in that direction. And hey, you can always change direction at any time. You're not committed to anything other than you and your own happiness. So if you had a realization, something needed to change, you took steps in one direction, maybe you decided you and your fella or your partner, your girlfriend, you needed a break. You're not splitting, you're taking time. You go and stay with your mum or stay with a friend. That's one step in a direction. Then you have different conversations with some distance between you. Then you may renegotiate what you want and how you want to feel. Then you may make decisions to take steps back towards each other or to keep stepping in opposite directions because that feels right now. Decisions are small baby steps that take you in a direction. So how do you know when you're done? A sense of completion happens when you arrive in a state. It's not a place, it's not geography, it's not a title, it's not a pay rise, it's not a thing. Completion is a feeling of, oh, yeah, that's enough. And for some people it might just be the lack of stress, the lack of worry, the not needing to constantly think and concern yourself. So you're going to look at what completion would mean to you. For this exercise, you're going to look at something in your life. What have you realised needs to change? What steps can you take? Maybe we can note them down, or you could make a video about them. What will completion look like? How will you know when you've got where you wanted to go? And then, the most important thing, move on. Move on, embrace that new place and let that past go. Release it, forgive it. Don't give it any more thoughts or attention. This is the golden nugget of the state of goodbye. How do you really say goodbye? You realise something, you make a decision, you keep going till you've completed, and then you just move on. So let's do that now, and I'll catch you in the next module. See you soon.